Hello Legionnaires, this is Max Leal from Legion of Myth, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Troubadour Discipline in the 4th edition Earthdawn role-playing game. If you have not watched my earlier videos, please be sure to watch them, especially the one titled Earthdawn Disciplines and Adepts, an overview, as it explains the nuances of what it means to be an adept who follows a discipline in the Earthdawn role-playing game. As always, I will post a link to that video in the description below. If you enjoy this Earthdawn content, or if you desire other anime, comics, and gaming-related news and reviews, please be sure to subscribe to the Legion Myth channel, ring that bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode, and share this video with your Earthdawn friends. As always, I will be discussing the Troubadour Discipline primarily in terms of 4th edition Earthdawn, as it is the most recent version of the game and thus the most appropriate version to discuss. Okay, let us start with the background worldview of the Troubadour. I would be kicked off YouTube for harassment if I tried to sing, so instead, you're about to learn that I'm also not a poet. But in the spirit of the Troubadour, here goes. Do not be quick to dismiss the Troubadour's role, for without a herald's voice, your legend cannot grow. An integral melody to the rebuilding of Barsaive, and anything noteworthy upon this world made. Though a name-giver alone performs many deeds, a hero with no legend is no hero decreed. By the mark on others who mimic gallant ideals is the measure of a legend to our world revealed. Through our songs your legend carried on given wings, Barsaive and heroes together a harmony it sings. Do not be quick to dismiss the Troubadour's role, for without a herald's voice your legend cannot grow. As I hopefully implied above, there are two facets to the Troubadour discipline, entertainment and history, or as the Troubadour likes to say, memory. To properly polish these two facets, Troubadours must master two distinct skills that form the center of their discipline, a talent for performance and aptitude in learning. Learning is often practiced alone or with an instructor, while performance must be in a crowd. Through stories, parables, fiction, and true accounts, Troubadours help people forget their troubles. They bring joy, relief, and release. Life in Barsaive is hard, and as the body needs rest, so does the soul need relief. Entertainment is more than laughter. Relief and release for the soul can be found in emotions other than joy and lightheartedness. This is why, along with tales of heroism, joy, and happy endings, stories of darkness, sadness, fear, and anger exist as well. Tragedy and comedy are an equal fare. Despair is the greatest enemy of all, and the one troubadours fight the hardest. Their tales and songs remind those around them the value of hope, the inspiration of past victories, and the courage of the defiant. Troubadours remind people that life is worth living, a truth easily forgotten under the shadow of danger. Troubadours serve as the memory and conscience of cares, towns, and villages. They are repositories of wisdom who recall the twists and turns of the past. They conserve knowledge of a society's identity. To a certain degree, Troubadours become the soul of their societies, become its identity. One of my personal takes is where other disciplines may see the letter of the law, the Troubadour also sees its spirit. Troubadours recall the thoughts and actions of yesterday, of yesteryear. They are society's memory who ensure the pattern of the society's days continue. They preserve self-knowledge for a society as memory does for an individual. Stories are more than just words. There's often thoughtful nuance, subtlety, and emotion in a story that speaks sincerity, the truth, to the heart and mind of every name giver, no matter status or intellect. Troubadours are both entertainers and teachers. Illusionists dream of being able to do what troubadours do with an offhand phrase. Weaponsmiths aspire to shape metal to their desire like troubadours smith words. Lastly, and anecdotally, for all of their charm, troubadours can also seem aloof. This is because they know they must remain independent of petty political concerns, lest they fall under the control of one who would change the memory of society. Alright, what does it mean to be the troubadour's player? What should you expect if you decide to play the Troubadour Discipline? With most sincere apologies to the Swordmaster, the Troubadour is the premier social discipline. This discipline requires role-playing and social interaction to be at its best. If you are not interested in role-playing, a highly social character, or if your game master doesn't provide a strong social setting, you may want to think twice about the Troubadour. On the other hand, when able to ply its trade, this discipline is quietly powerful. At first circle, the Troubadour receives the Entertainer talent for free. Do you need to make some quick coin, or prove you're not under the sway of a horror? Just sing a little ditty, recite an odyssey, or tell of your own epic deeds. Emotion Song can invoke a particular emotion in a group of people that lasts for days. And Item History, which is the go-to talent, or was until the Weaponsmith also received it, allows the discovery of key knowledges in magic items. At second circle, Etiquette allows the Troubadour to act appropriately, to the person or group at hand. The talent helps to avoid those little faux pas your Troll Sky Raider may trigger. Third circle's Empathic Sense allows Troubadour to get a better read of someone, thus receiving a bonus to future interaction tests. Research comes up at fourth circle, and it lets the Troubadour study, investigate, and follow up on rumors and legends in order to glean necessary information. Upon reaching the Journeyman circles, One Last Word allows the Troubadour to squeeze in a karma die to a failed roll versus an opponent's social defense, while Inspire Others provides the Troubadour's team bonuses to social defense and action tests for a number of rounds. At Circle 6, Lasting Impression provides a bonus to interaction tests for a number of weeks. Resist Taunt at 7th Circle does just that. And 8th Circle's Slough Blame allows the Troubadour to shift blame to another, for hopefully enough time to get the Troubadour out of there. He did it! Upon becoming a Warden at 9th Circle, the Troubadour's Unnatural Charm ability is an 8-hour ritual that raises the Troubadour's Charisma value by 3, giving an effective +1 step bonus to Charisma tests. Bardic Voice enhances Emotion Song and other Charisma-based talents. 10th Circle's Rally Talent allows the Troubadour's companions to immediately use an available recovery test, and it removes certain combat penalties until the end of next round. Undermine uses the 11th Circle Troubadour's impressively good looks and or power of persuasion to make a target feel inadequate, reducing the target's social defense. Witty Repartee is like Riposte, but for words and social defense. 13th Circle Encore allows the Master Troubadour to use any charm-based ability twice in a single round and stack its effects. What can I say about the Cutting Words talent? How about Sticks and stones may break your bones, but these words will surely hurt you. At 14th Circle, the Song of Deflection talent provides a Troubadour and party a bonus to active defense tests such as Avoid Blow or Steal Thought. Lastly, at 15th Circle, Song of Battle increases the effectiveness of Inspire Others. In Earthdawn, half magic represents discipline, pertinent knowledge, and skills a character knows or can perform simply by being an adept of the discipline. Troubadours may make half magic tests for knowledge of legends, myths, and folklore of their home provinces, lands, and people, and to identify instruments and performing arts of different areas. In order to have such sway over the emotions of name-givers and the memories of a society, a Troubadour must adhere to some fundamentals. If you remember from my overview video, disciplines are not character classes, professions, or archetypes. They are lifestyles. And while the personal vision of each Troubadour Adept may differ, there is a foundation that must remain. A Troubadour's duty to conserve knowledge and share it through entertainment lies at the heart of the discipline. A troubadour who turns away from this role has violated the discipline and will suffer a talent crisis, the severity of which depends on what the troubadour has or hasn't done to violate the discipline. Let's look at other types of troubadours in this Variations on a Theme segment. A sage troubadour does not necessarily entertain a group in the manner of the traditional troubadour, but feels he's a performer even when speaking to just one person. Sages believe books are a good source for historical information, but if you want information about the here and now, you need to turn to name givers and listen to what they have to say. To do this, a sage needs to develop a talent for being entertaining or engaging, as well as a talent for listening, truly listening. A successful listener will stop talking, except for the purpose of listening. A mind focused on the speaker is one that is receiving information. Sage success combines the skill of an orator with the voracious appetite for information. However, sages are not hoarders of information. Rather, they put knowledge to use when it has value. Like the sage, the cartographer or mapmaker is also a scholarly troubadour who concentrates on the physical landscape inasmuch as the traditional troubadour concentrates on the landscape of the mind and heart. The sage and mapmaker are scholars more in the context of a wizard or weaponsmith than a troubadour. As such, many troubadours disavow or even look down upon these specialties. Talent options such as conversation, diplomacy, read-write language, speak language, and winning smile fit in well for these scholarly types. Sojourners are adventuring troubadours who believe in not only saving the memories of the past, but also in making their own mark on the world. Similar to how an illusionist must experience the world to perform better illusions, the sojourner experiences the world to better know and understand the deeper truth of memory. So long as there are those who are willing to fight and lay down their lives, if necessary, to make the world a better place for those who come after them, there will be legends. So long as there are those whose hearts can be stirred by the words of troubadour, then those legends will never die. Sojourners strive for both troubadour and legend. Avoid blow, taunt, lionheart, and any of the weapon talents form the core of the sojourner's talents. So what about multidisciplining with the troubadour? Troubadours are inclined to take on other disciplines that revere and preserve knowledge, such as the wizard. The illusionist discipline also works well as both disciplines love an audience, and the illusionist's abilities enhance the troubadour's performance. The solitary disciplines of thief and weaponsmith just don't fit in well with the troubadour, nor does the Skyraider's lack of introspection. Troubadours revere two passions above all others: Ostendar in her guise as the passion of music, and Mindbruges as patron of knowledge and truth. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the troubadour discipline? Everybody's group is different, but at my table, the player needs to be a strong role player. Troubadour players don't need to bring instruments or even have a singing voice, but I do prefer someone with wit and the ability to converse to play this discipline. As a game master, I hate this discipline. As a player, I love it. It may not be my cup of tea to play personally, but I love having one in the group. Troubadours have a way of turning NPCs' whole villages in a direction the GM does not always want or expect. I remember reading forums in regard to previous editions Troubadours, and there were a lot of people who complained about its fighting prowess. That's not the Troubadour's job. If you want to fight while being social, play a Swordmaster. If you play a Troubadour, expect to be social and informative. There's no need to turn the discipline into what it's not, a square peg in a round hole, so to speak. You may not personally shine when your group squares off against horrors and its construct, but your group will notice your absence once they become accustomed to your inspirations. And outside of combat, especially in social settings, there is no better discipline. When they mock you for singing songs and taking notes while they bleed, remind them, do not be quick to dismiss the troubadour's role, for without a herald's voice, your legend cannot grow. Alright, please let me know what you think of this episode, the Troubadour Discipline, and the Earthdawn setting as a whole, and apparently my bad lighting I just noticed. With only 2 more videos remaining, nope, I'm not getting into the racial or secondary disciplines like Liberator or Purifier. The Sky Raider will be next, and I will finish this series with the Elementalist. Please subscribe to the Legion Myth channel, ring that bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded, and share this video with your Earthdawn friends. Finally, I want to let you know about the Legion Myth weekly livestream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. See the description below for the link. Our hosts Garthon and Heathen provide anime reviews, tabletop gaming fundamentals, comic book reviews, and other nerd topics that should interest you. Once per month, they also have a Twitch follower and subscriber giveaway. These giveaways include video game keys, Amazon gift cards, as well as both PDF and print versions of various tabletop RPGs. We may even give out another Earthdawn book. Who knows? You could be next! Remember, that's Saturday at 8 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. If you cannot catch them live, you can always watch their past segments on this Legion Myth YouTube channel. And with that, I will see you next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.